the unknown from beyond and more. This is CharVision.
Char.
Hello, everybody. It's Sunny and Char, and I have my scarf on Sunny. He's wearing dreadlocks. I'm being influenced by all the drag queens that I'm reading for on World of Wonder. So if you haven't seen Sunny and I on World of Wonder, it's Wow-Presents Plus. I think that's it. Wow-Presents. I'm very bad at this promotion stuff for them, but they're really, really good, and I'm going to be taping 3 more shows, and I'm going to be at DragCon, which is huge, and I'm going to be reading for queens in front of DragCon, in front of a big audience, so it's a big deal. So I'm getting Sunny, I'm trying to get Sunny in drag. Okay, enough with me playing with my poor dog. Look at, but wait, let me see in there. It
doesn't seem to mind.
He doesn't seem to mind,
not at
right?
all.
There he goes. Look at how handsome he looks. Okay, I'm in a good mood. And
I'm glad.
I hope you guys are doing well. And I have a guest today, and I'm going to be taking readings later. So I will, let's see, I have somebody here named Dr. Ivy Love Marguiles.
Correct.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. It's my pleasure. So you're a licensed clinical psychologist, and you're a death midwife and Reiki healer and licensed funeral director?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. When I read your bio, I didn't see the funeral director part, who specializes in grief, loss, and trauma, encompassing the entire spectrum of a woman's reproductive and maternal mental health. Wow.
Yeah.
So you work with
Women
PTSD
mainly. Yes.
and grief, and you do a lot of things.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what is a death midwife?
So, yes, let's death midwife, not a term most people hear much in America. It's mainly heard in England. Often we use bereavement doula to soften kind of the terminology. People seem to it resonates more with them, bereavement doula. Anyway, death midwife is about helping people have a conscious death experience. So helping people to consciously participate in their own death.
Oh.
Yes. Because death in of itself is not painful.
No.
And we in our society are so frightened of death that we think we need to medicate or numb people out. I mean, clearly, of course, people there
Are
could be dying.
If they're
of-
suffering and they're
Sure.
in terrible pain, you want to...
Of course, then you want to give them some
Right.
comfort while they die. But if you're basically lived a full life and you can die at home and it's your time, you can have a conscious death and participate.
Now, you are
In the death.
fascinating. That really intrigues me because, we can, it's our attitude about everything.
Yes.
There's positive attitudes and negative attitudes, no matter what, about relationships, about work, about our friendships, about everything we do. So who thinks about being positive? Hooray, I'm going to die.
Right, right. Well, you're only going to do it once, so you might as
In
well
this
show
body.
up. Yes, in this body, correct. In this body.
Wow.
So you might as well be there for it.
And do you communicate with them and say, what are you feeling? Or
Absolutely.
Do they, give me an example. Tell me a story.
My main stories really are, there's one where you are guiding them as they are going through the different stages of the dying process, and you're just telling them it's okay to surrender and to invite this feeling into their body, that nothing bad is happening, that they are just transitioning, and to welcome the transition. So you just comfort them. And you also ask prior, while they're dying, do they want music? hearing is the last sense to go. So even when people think someone's dead, you need to really watch what you're saying around the dying or the dead, because
Really,
they can still hear
you're not
you.
looking so good right now. A vain person wouldn't like that.
Yeah, but I don't know if you've been with someone who's dying, but they are back and forth across the veil. There's a point where
Yeah.
they're kind of seeing things or communicating with people on the other side, and they'll be saying things or things that don't make sense to you, but they're clearly having a conversation with someone or something, energetically. And I am a true believer that we do not die, that we just transform into another energy dimension.
Right.
And
we're on the same page.
hence quantum physics as well, which is
Right.
I can't
right.
explain quantum
The
physics.
Past, present, and future are all going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-boggling.
Profound.
It's very profound. But so you just want to really make them as comfortable as possible and keep them calm and present. And you want them to leave out the top of their head if you can. That the crown is the highest form of leaving your body. You don't want them
The
leave
crown chakra.
Yeah, you don't want to leave out of the lower chakras
No.
because it's lower vibration.
Yeah, and you could go to a bad neighborhood.
Now, that or come back and not have such a great time when you come back. But there are people, unfortunately, I was just thinking of unfortunately, people who die in fear, right?
Yeah.
Or who don't want to leave.
Right.
Or there's an accident, like a plane crash or.
Right.
So at
And
that
they're not
point,
prepared.
No.
Like if somebody's dying of cancer and their body's leaving or some disease,
Yeah.
then they're kind of. I always thought that. Like in some ways, I don't want anyone to suffer that I love, but it's a saving grace to see them suffering because then you want them to go.
True. Yes.
You don't want them to live suffering.
Right.
That's not good.
But then you also think of the hundreds, if not thousands of people in hospitals across our country who are intubated and kept alive for the family, not because they want. I mean, they're
right.
suffering. I've actually talked to a few
That's
people
like
after they've been
a living
intubated.
will thing. A living will, like you don't
Yeah.
keep me alive on machines.
DNR, do
Please
not
don't
resuscitate.
keep me alive on machines. Anybody? Okay.
Just have a DNR in place. A do not resuscitate.
Yeah, I think I have that.
And make sure everyone around you knows you never want to be intubated. I've talked to a few people after intubation, and it's a painful experience.
What is intubation?
When they put a tube in your throat and
Oh,
a machine
God.
actually breathes for you.
Oh yeah.
And people can lay in those beds for a year or two or until the family's ready to let go. I mean, the person.
But is that like the tube that Christopher Reeves had in his? Didn't he breathe through a tube the whole time?
He did. I don't know.
Or people
all
have
the
ALS?
intricacies of that. But, well, that's different because he was conscious.
He was conscious and he
We're talking about
wasn't ready
people
yet,
who
are really brain dead.
They're either brain dead or they are put in a induced coma state.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but the way I use my death midwifery training is around dead babies, right? So it's about helping women before they birth a stillborn, after the stillborn's there, and or offer comfort care to infants as they're dying. And I come in and help put order in the chaos.
Oh
So
my goodness.
dead babies are out of order deaths, right?
Right.
So in our culture, that's why there's very few outlets for grieving parents to talk about their dead babies. And so
It's really
this is the work I do. This is primarily work.
that is
my
a
work
really amazing work because there's somebody in our family who had twins and one of them didn't make it.
Yeah, that happens.
And she still has a big issue with this.
Absolutely. It's lifelong.
It's
Grief,
lifelong.
grief is a lifelong process.
Yeah.
There are no stages in grief. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross did amazing work around dying and death and beyond
Right.
death and all of that, and also about coming to terms with a diagnosis, a terminal diagnosis.
Right.
Where you go, she came up with stages for people who have terminal diagnoses.
Right.
They got perverted into stages of grief. There are no stages of grief.
No.
Grief is a lifelong process that you will come back and forth, and when you think you're done with something and then it shows up again, that's why people can get so frustrated. Well, I thought I was done with that stage. And it's like, well, there is no stage. There is no stage. So
That
your
makes
friend who
sense.
lost one of her twins, yeah, it's hard to watch one live and thrive.
Right.
which you're of course grateful for, but on the other hand, you're also like, there's supposed to be two. I'm supposed to be watching them
Right,
grow up together,
right.
and that other one would be doing that with his brother or sister,
Right.
And, like, so yeah, it's lifelong. Yeah.
Oh my. So when you're with, so how do how do they call you? How do they know the baby's going to die, or how do you get there on time?
Well, I have hospital privileges at Providence St. John's Hospital. I work very closely with a lot of OBs, IVF doctors, perinatologists. Those are specialists beyond OBGYN.
And I mean, are these babies that are already deceased in the stomach of the mother?
The uterus.
The
yeah.
uterus?
Yeah. Babies grow in the uterus.
I mean, in the uterus, sorry.
Not the stomach.
I never had a baby.
I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, usually they're told ahead of time. Either there's a fetal anomaly and the baby's not what they call compatible with life, and they need to consider the options, and this is what they're looking at if they continue with the pregnancy, but it's better for the mother if they terminate before 24 weeks. And then, so I get fetal anomaly diagnoses.
So does that mean that the baby's already dead inside
No, not
them?
necessarily. That just means that they have severe trisomy 21, or they have 18, or they have a chromosomal issue, or they have Turner syndrome, or they have something wrong in the brain or the heart or the bones. There's a lot of bone dysplasia type issues out there. People would never know about this. And they need to terminate the pregnancy. So they stop the baby's heartbeat the day before, and then the woman goes in the next day and delivers, or they take out the baby, depending on what she wants.
So there are women that are carrying babies for months and then have to terminate.
Yeah.
Now, emotionally and psychologically, that's got to be so
unfathomable,
devastating.
Absolutely. It's something you hear about. It's not something you ever think is going to be you. So it's helping them put back together their assumptive world. So we have something called an assumptive world.
What do you tell them? What do you do?
Lots of things. I mean, we start with just recognizing the unfathomableness of the decision that they have to make. And even though they can have a supportive husband or partner, they're still the one that has to lay down on the table and, prepare to have these procedures done to their body. If the baby is over 20 weeks, we can get hand and footprints. We can still have the baby cremated or buried. So you talk to them about the things they can control.
Right.
Right? Because all they know is chaos and everything's out of control.
Do you talk about religion? Do you talk about spirituality?
Sure. I ask what religion. I'm very respectful, but my work is non-denominational.
Right.
So I remind them of that. I just say I may be talking about energy, and you may see a lot of crystals in my office, and I work a lot with energy, but that's also based in science. I mean, what we know about the molecules in water or the air around you don't see it, but it's there, and everything's held together by a chemical reaction. And the cells in your hands are not the same cells in your brain. So anyway, not to go off too far, because I love it. I love talking about science. So I help them put order in the chaos. I help them perform ritual. So ritual is really important. It helps them feel a sense of control. So we want to mitigate PTSD is what I do. I'm a trauma specialist. So I want to help the women that get to me before these procedures, even if they go and the baby's heartbeat is stopped and they have an ultrasound where they say, I'm sorry, there is no heartbeat. If I can get to these women even prior to those D&Cs that are performed after the heartbeat is stopped, it mitigates the trauma so much for them. They heal so much better mentally, physically, and spiritually because they are prepared. There's something preparation for this.
Right.
Otherwise, there's no preparation. They're just kind of following what the doctor's telling them to do. They are numb. They're detached. They disassociate.
And nobody's acknowledging their sadness and their grief.
Right. No one is also.
And you do that.
Yeah. So just being heard, seen, validated, normalized. I give them wellness plans. I give them ritual even. I have rituals printed out to hand them. everything from what crystals to go buy or hold, what colors to wear. Ritual really is about performing something that you have control over to help you organize your emotional experience.
Right.
And
I
ritual,
understand that.
Yeah, ritual across the world, right? So
And prayer.
prayer, if they find comfort in prayer, that's fine. I have them write a letter to the deceased baby or the baby they're about
That
to
is
terminate.
beautiful.
Yeah. And then write a letter, even say women are going through IVF and they're about to have a transfer, which is when an embryo is put into a woman's body to produce a pregnancy. I have them write a letter even to the embryo before they go in for that procedure.
Oh, my.
Because they've had so many things done to their body by that point that they don't feel like themselves. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So everything from infertility treatments to preparing women for, unfortunately, either terminating a pregnancy or having to evacuate out what's left of a pregnancy.
I want to ask you another question, but I'm sure there's people out there that are interested in calling you. Can I give out your phone number?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Dr. Marguiles' telephone number is 310-850-1330. 310-850-1330. And she can tell you about...
You can also text on that number.
Oh, you can text on the number. And it's also...
Or you can email me at driveylove@gmail.com.
Dr. Ivy
IvyLove
at gmail.com.
Dr. Ivy, DRIVYLOVE at gmail.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
how...
So if I go into a hospital and the baby's, let's say they have a 23-week birth, still not where they want to put the baby in a NICU because the brain isn't developed. It's so they're offering comfort care to the baby before it passes.
How can we facilitate healthy discussions about death, around death? Because, like you say, everybody's going to die one day.
That's
I
right.
always say that too.
Yeah.
With the people that I read for. I don't say it to everybody. What do you mean I'm going to die? Char said I'm going to die. I said, no. We all are going to die one day.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you facilitate healthy discussions?
Just like what we're doing. You having me on this show, for example, is a great way to have a healthy discussion around death.
And do you do any seminars or workshops or groups?
I have some workshops that I do. I run 6 or 7 different groups out of my office.
You do out of your office.
Yeah.
And your office is in Santa Monica, California.
That's correct.
And so if people call you and they want to be a part of this, do you do things on Skype or...
Yes. So I can do...
Zoom?
Yep. I can do sessions over FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, phone session.
You do really important work.
Thank you.
Really, really important work. You must have had some experience in losing somebody and grieving in a big way for you to be able to empathize and have this compassion that you have for others.
Yes, I have.
I have a feeling you've gone through
Many deaths. Yes.
many deaths.
Many.
So you've lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
And do they come visit you? Do you know who they are? Do you feel them?
I do.
And do they come to you like our mom comes to us as like a butterfly? So do you have any experiences like that somebody comes as a
Yes.
butterfly?
I talk about this too with bereaved parents.
Do they come? Is there someone that comes as a butterfly to you or a bird?
Bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I think the reason I'm saying it is because that person who's the bird is that family.
Blue jay. It was my late husband.
I was going to say your husband.
I was a young widow, so yeah.
I was going to say your husband. I have a feeling he's around you.
Yeah, I've been told that. Yeah, he's become almost a guardian angel.
Right.
Yes, interestingly enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel very connected to him.
So he comes as a blue jay to you. That's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
can I ask you something?
Please.
I don't know this. I sometimes get middle names, first names, last. I don't know. Is there a J or an M initial?
Michael.
Michael. I was going to say
Yeah.
Michael. Is he Michael?
Michael, yeah.
Is your husband? Yeah.
husband.
Don't say names, but that's okay. I
okay.
was going to say Michael. I was hearing the name Michael in my head.
Yeah. It's all right. You can ask.
Yeah, he definitely is letting you know that he knows and you know, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I have a feeling he wants you to be open for other romance. Do you have other romance yet?
No,
Are you open to it?
yeah, of course. Of course. Well, subsequent from Michael's death, I did remarry and had 4 kids,
Oh, wow.
and now I'm divorced. I had a pregnancy loss with Michael.
Oh, you did?
Yes. And before that, my father died of suicide when I was 15.
Oh, geez.
And
You'd
then
have had
a year
grief.
later, my best friend died. She hung herself in her closet.
Oh, my goodness.
So I've had, and there's other deaths. I mean, my late husband Michael's mother died 6 years later of lung cancer that went to her brain. So I helped her die.
Wow.
I mean, I could go on.
Right.
The best man at my wedding, Michael shot himself
So
10 years ago, so whatever.
But you have learned how to deal with grief, and you've taken your life's experiences to help other people. That's very generous.
I love it. I'm passionate about
and
it.
big-hearted of you,
Oh,
and
well, I love it.
and kind of you.
Thank you.
Because every time you go through grief, or seeing someone else in grief, it reminds you probably of the grief you've gone through.
Not so. I mean, I don't relive
Sometimes
it.
you don't relive
no,
it. Good.
it's
I'm
not
glad
at that
you don't.
point. I think because of what I've gone through, that has only made me very good at what I do. I mean, I
Right.
can walk into a room with a dead baby and it's like having a conversation and coffee. I mean, I really.
Right.
I mean, I've helped make handprints on dead baby hands. You take put tape on the back of their hand and make handprints with the nurse and make sure. I also do home infant funerals. So if they
my
want to take the baby
goodness.
home, that's why I got the funeral director's license so that I could act as an intermediary between the funeral home and the hospital because the hospital needs to release the body to a funeral home or a funeral director. So if I can act on behalf of that funeral home, then I can put the baby's body in my car and then take it to their home or hand it to them around the corner, basically, from the
Wow.
hospital. And then they can take the baby. And I teach them. So part of death midwifery is also helping people learn how to take care of the deceased body. So I tell them what will happen, what they will notice, what will shift and change, and not to be scared of that's a normal process.
That the physical body changes.
Yeah, changes color, changes the way when you touch it, and to put ice packs, where to put the ice packs on the baby, and try to keep it in the coolest room in the house. And then we prepare a little pamphlet or something for the memorial service, and have people come say a loving goodbye.
Oh, so they have some kind of closure.
So that's another ritual, right?
That is another ritual.
And then you take the baby to usually the crematory. Then you have it cremated.
How can we support a grieving person?
So we can support grieving people by holding space for their grief, their feelings, their emotions. They're messy, right? People don't like messy. They always want to be like, oh, well, don't worry, you can have another one. Or the platitudes that I've heard are just
Oh my God! You probably want to sock somebody in the
Beyond.
mouth.
beyond. Like,
I
oh,
can't
good
even
thing you never
imagine.
knew the baby. Good thing you didn't know the baby. Or
Oh my goodness!
good thing you can get pregnant. You can have another one. Like you can have like you lost your wallet. You didn't lose your wallet. Your baby died. So there's a lot of minimization and devaluing of really what these families have gone through.
Have you written a book?
Not yet. It's coming.
You got to read. I think Michael wants you to write your book.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time for
time.
you to write your book, and will you come back on my
I would be
on
honored.
CharVision
Thank you.
to talk about? Because I really believe your work is extremely important. But how do we support a grieving person?
So, yeah, what I was about to say is feelings are messy. So they want you to be the person you were prior to the loss, ultimately. And most people don't know. The best things you can do is just sit and say, how can I support you? How can I, I'm just going to hold space and let you feel whatever you need to feel. I'm just here to listen.
And I'm here for you.
I'm not here to fix it. I'm not here to change anything. What would feel good right now? That's how you help a grieving person. I have plenty of ways how you not to help them, how you don't help them, which is what we were just talking about. But the way to help them is organize a meal train for them. Food is really important, to have food just show up daily. So have someone create a meal train and be really respectful of what they need and don't need, and their boundaries and their need for rest, and just be hypervigilant to make sure that they are at least getting out of bed and taking a shower at first, and their basic needs are met.
Have you ever gone to a Shiva house?
Yes.
Okay. Us Jews, we're good at
I'm half Jew.
You're half Jewish? Okay. There's always good food.
Yes.
You can count on it. And it's usually like bagels and lox and tuna fish and chicken salad
plenty of food.
and
Oh, no.
plenty of chopped liver.
The Jewish
and,
homes are full.
right,
Yes,
we're
that's not a
full-
problem. Yeah.
That's how we solve our problems. We eat.
That's funny.
So it's true.
I know you're right.
It's true. And then you kind of, like if you're really, if you stop to think about the good food, and as not hungry as you are, you go, but that might taste good.
Yeah. I know.
And then it helps nourish the person.
Absolutely.
Because people need to be nourished so they can move on, right?
Yeah, when you're in deep grief, you don't feel like eating.
No, of course not.
Taking in or
Of course not.
the idea.
And
of that,
I find in my work when I read for people, sometimes they only remember the person suffering and dying. They don't think of all the joy and happiness and great times they had in their lives, or they didn't get to say goodbye. And they go, oh, I didn't get to say goodbye. Yeah. I feel guilty. I feel terrible. I had just left the hospital. And, what I have found, and I don't know if you've experienced this, that a lot of people don't want their loved ones around while they're dying because our energy can keep them earthbound.
That's correct.
The
Especially
love,
if they come, that, and if they're hysterical, crying, or
right,
wanting to hold on to their body and like,
right, don't
go.
Right.
It can be very disturbing. That's why many people pass, adults, elderly, whatever, pass like in early, like the wee hours of the morning.
Right.
Like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Our mom did that because we would have kept her. Our love and our connections were so strong.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like an animal. An animal will go to a quiet little place and just go to sleep because it's their time and they know it.
Yeah. Yeah, the dying don't want to be disturbed.
And you better not do that for a long time. You got that?
That's why if you
Lester?
have a death midwife or a bereavement doula around an adult or an older person dying, you can help create those boundaries and safe places and keep that room and that space as sacred.
Well, you are an angel on earth, my dear.
Oh,
and I am so happy that Gina Rugolo, thank you, Gina, for finding.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, we're just so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And it's drivyLove@gmail.com. And you're going to write a book.
I'm going to write
I'm
a book.
excited. I can't
2 or
wait
3
till
in my
that
head,
book comes
actually.
out. I mean, that book people will give that book away as gifts to a lot of people. People need you and
Thank you.
need this.
Thank you for saying that.
I mean that.
Okay.
And then you can text her on 310-850-1330. 310-850-1330. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Really appreciate it.
God bless you.
Thank you.
You're very mature and very serious, and you do your
Try not
work
to be.
really well. You really, you're really brought here to do this work.
Yeah. I feel pulled. Definitely.
You are.
I'm in alignment.
You're passionate.
I'm in alignment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm excited for
Yeah.
you and for you. It's probably your last time around. Do you know what numerology number you are?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I just wonder if you're 9, but that's okay. I don't have time now because I promised people I would take callers.
Okay. Okay.
So if you don't mind, I'm gonna
goodbye.
be doing
Okay.
that.
All
And
right.
Tony, do you have something to play? Okay. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. Don't go away. I'm going to be talking to all these spirits and good energies for you. Let's be real. Going to the doctor can be stressful and sometimes terrible. And finding time to get important lab testing done is almost impossible. Plus, the process is tedious and expensive. But now you can complete your testing from the comfort of your own home, thanks to Everlywell. Everlywell is an at-home health testing company that offers a variety of tests, ranging from food sensitivity to metabolism to a thyroid test. The tests are private, simple, and all processed through certified labs. All you have to do is head to everlywell.com, choose your tests, and they'll be shipped directly to your doorstep. Then, once you complete your sample collection and send it back into Everlywell certified labs, they will process your sample and send your results via Everlywell's secure online platform within just 5 days. Everlywell takes all the guesswork out of lab testing and puts the power into your hands to complete a range of important health tests all from home. Now, I got the vitamin D test, excuse me, because 2 years ago I was deficient in it. But this year my doctors did blood tests and I was fine in vitamin D. So I tested Everlywell. And guess what? My vitamin D was fine and they were very accurate. So no more sitting in waiting rooms for hours and hours. Head to everlywell.com and use code CHAR to take 15% off your first order. Again, head to everlywell.com and use offer code CHAR for 15% off your first order. Take control of your health today with Everlywell's at-home health tests. Okie dokie. So we're back now. Let's take some callers, Tony, please. Now, people, when I read for you, please be open about everybody, living and deceased. I usually give an initial or name, but with her, I really was hearing the name Michael. I should have just said it. But there you go. Who do we got?
Let's go 310.
310. Okay. Hey, hi. Can you put that? Okay, wait, you're breaking up. So how come I can't hear?
Hello?
The person? Okay. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for calling. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Have I read for you before?
You have.
I don't know who you are, so that's okay. But I can. I just.
No, it's been a very long time.
A very long
been
time.
A lot of years.
Tony, could you just put it up a little more? 'Cause it's not here.
It's been over 30 years.
Over 30 years. Wow.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
So you were instrumental at a crossroads in my life over 30 years ago. I actually, I have a 32-year-old daughter. So this was before I was married. So it was about 34 years ago.
Yeah, Tony, you got to put it down. Sorry, we're having a little audio issue. Just put it down a little bit. Okay, now we're good. That's crazy.
And I came to you at this crossroads, and pretty much the reading was so spot on for the last 30 years.
Wow.
That now I'm at a crossroads again.
That makes me so happy. That makes me happy if I was able to help you. So just be open
You were.
Oh, God bless you. Okay. So is there somebody that's an S or C person around you or an M?
There's an M, yes.
Is the M a female or a male?
Yes.
Is it a female M?
Yes.
With an R in her name?
Female.
Is there an R or L?
Yes.
Is it like MAR?
R. Yes, it is.
Is that
I lost you, Char.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can
Is
hear
that
you.
somebody deceased, the MAR? Or that's
it's
somebody
my
living?
daughter.
That's your daughter. Okay. And that's the daughter
Yes.
that you were just talking about.
Yes, I have two of them, and that's one of the two, my oldest.
Okay. And does she live with somebody?
She does.
Yeah. Does she have children?
No.
Does she
But
does the
they're
other
thinking
one?
about it.
She's thinking about children?
Yes.
I have a feeling she's going to have a child.
Okie dokie. That will make me a grandmother, which would make me very happy.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
It
And then-
would be amazing. It's been on my mind a lot. I've been single for the past 8 years, and that's part of my crossroads is
Right.
I'm looking so much for a deep connection. I mean, maybe it will be to a grandchild. I was thinking it would be to a partner, but whatever, I'll take whatever I can get.
But I don't know that you're really out there looking for a partner. Are you really trying?
You know, I'm not on any site. I've been there, done that, haven't had a lot of success, and it's been very difficult for me. I was in a 35-year relationship, so it's just been a really tough. I'm just not. I've had many opportunities.
Is there an R or B male that was around you? R or B or R or D?
R or G?
No, B. B as in boy or
G.
R?
There's been a G recently.
Was he spelled D-A or D-O?
GR.
Okay, like Drew or
Or
Drayton? I don't know the name, but it started. He wasn't a doctor, but his name was Dr.
GR with a
Oh,
G.
Gr. Okay.
G.
Okay.
Is that what you said first?
No,
GR?
I said a D or an R.
Oh, D was my ex-husband.
Yeah. Is he D-A or D-O?
DA.
Like David or Daniel?
Danny.
Danny. Yeah. And so you were married for 35 years?
We were together for 35. We were married for 26.
And then it broke up?
Yes.
But he's still around. He's still living?
He's still around. He lives not far from me. He's got a girlfriend.
Like a younger girlfriend?
Yes, not much. Well, he did have somebody a lot younger, but now she's not that much younger, like 10 years.
You know what's interesting? I always say when I do my speaking events, when they made the marriage vows, till death do we part, people only lived till they were 30. So of course, till death do you part. But I have a feel. Well, you look at you guys had your kids together. You did what you needed to do, and I'm not saying you won't have a relationship, but I feel like you need to put more effort into it if that's what you want. You're not putting enough energy into it.
Okay, I figured.
You put a wall
yes,
up.
it is what I want. It's what I long for.
Here's
very
the
deeply.
truth. We create most of our destiny by the choices we make.
Yes.
So,
And I've been working very hard on a reinvention. I've changed my career. I'm in my 60s now,
Great.
and changing a career after all those years.
I honestly do feel that you're going to have to open up more, but I feel like you're going to be busy with a child. So,
Oh, yay.
So thank you so much for calling. I need to get to the next caller, but it's great to talk to you again. You know, for people who wonder, I still do private sessions. I do them over the phone. I do them in person in Los Angeles and other places. So everybody's welcome to, set up appointments if you want a longer session. Thank you so much for calling.
And thank you, Char. Thank you for your time.
My
Take care.
pleasure. My pleasure. You too. Bye-bye. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was nice. She gave me a lot of validation of things that I said 32 years ago. I was only 12, right?
That's
No,
right.
that's not true.
248.
Okay, 248. There's a Michigander.
Yes.
How are you? Hello?
Hi, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
I think she just doesn't know she.
How are you?
Hi, good. How are you? We don't have a great connection.
Oh, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for
Good,
asking.
thank you.
Pardon? Say that again. I'm kind of losing her, Tony.
We have a delay.
Pardon?
but I'm here.
She said you have a delay.
Oh, I have a delay. Okay. Well, let's see what we can get because it's hard when there's a delay. So I want to know if there's somebody that's an S or C initial connected with you.
Yes.
Is it S or C?
S.
Is that a female S?
Yes, there's an S.
Is it a female S?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it S with an N in it or an R?
R.
Is it like SH?
Yes.
Like Sherry or Sharon?
Shirley.
Shirley. Is she deceased?
Uh-huh.
Is this your mother?
Grandmother.
Grandmother. Okay, I heard mother. So grandmother. So I feel like your grandmother's around you. And are you doing anything now with working?
Yes.
And are they making any changes around your work or what you do?
My husband is having changes with his work,
Okay, so
but I recently started working since she's been passed.
Okay, so but your husband's having changes with his work?
Yes.
Okay, I feel like he needs to just go with the flow with it.
Okay.
And that it's who is William? Do you know William or Michael?
No.
Is there a middle name like this?
Yes, there's a middle name Michael.
Who is that?
My friend Rod Michael, our Michael.
Okay, did you say your son or your friend?
My friend.
Is he and he's living?
No.
Oh, he's deceased. Okay, so your friend's son is deceased.
My friend is deceased.
Oh, your friend is deceased.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was his middle name.
Okay, I think that was his middle name. So I think that his spirits.
Right.
I think his spirits around you. He's trying to say hey and hi, and I feel like he's in a good place too.
Good.
And I feel
good.
I feel like you were very helpful to him.
We were very close.
Yeah, I feel like he liked to laugh with you.
Totally, yes.
That's all you guys did was giggle and laugh. And so he's sending his love to you, and it's good you started a new work because did you ever work with him?
Yes, many years ago.
Yeah, is that how you met him?
No, we were just good friends, and I would go help him at work.
Okay, yeah. He's saying wherever the new place is, it's good. And what do you do by the water, or did you go on a trip with him by the water or the lake or something?
No, but I love the water.
You love the water. But are you going to the water? I keep seeing the water around you. This summer, are you going to the water?
I don't have any plans, but I just am always, as much as I can be near it, I try to be locally.
Okay, I'm just seeing something like that around you. And there's a J initial.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Like my grandfather's a J.
Is he John or James or Joseph?
Julius.
Julius. Okay, that's close enough. Yeah, I feel like your grandpa's around. And do you know Rose or Ruth or
Yep.
who's that?
Rose is an aunt.
Pardon?
That's his sister. His sister is Rose.
he's with his sister Rose, and they're watching over you.
Oh, good.
They're watching over you. Who had an issue with their driving or skidding with the car recently? If not, you need to don't go too fast around driving or your husband. I don't know. They're trying to give me a warning.
Okay.
Do you know the L, like Lewis or?
Yes, Lewis is my grandma's brother.
Lewis.
Shirley's brother.
Was it Lily and Lewis or just Lewis?
Shirley and Lou.
Oh, Shirley and Lewis. Okay, yeah, and he's here with them. Okay, so you got a whole bunch of people coming around. Okay, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. Take care.
And you take care too. It's good to talk to you. Be well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. I will try to give more time to take callers next week, but we will be here Friday, and as usual. And if you have friends who haven't signed up for my newsletter, I do give a free reading out from my newsletter, and also, if you just go to char.net, char.net, you can find out about my private readings and my teaching, because I teach intuition. You know, the future changes at any moment, at any second, because of someone else's choice or decision. So everybody needs to be in tune with their own intuition to know what choices to make to stay out of harm's way and to attain goals. So just remember, thank you so much. I appreciate you listening and calling in and being a part of CharVision. And just remember, intuition will take you places logic never could. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.